My name is Kristy Bleizeffer, and I'm the newest staff writer for Poets and Quants. Thank you all for joining us today for a deep dive into the MBA program of Zicklin School of Business at Baruch College, City University of New York. I want to welcome today's guest, Helaine Korn, Executive Director of Graduate Programs and Professor in the MP Loompa Department of Management. Thank you, Helaine, for joining us today.
Thanks, it's my pleasure to be here.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just dive right in. Let's start with just the basics of the MBA program, how flexible course selection is in the first year versus the second, required courses versus mandatory, the kind of basics of the program.
Absolutely. So flexibility is actually sort of one of our buzzwords in describing our program. There's lots of flexibility in our MBA program. It's the same format regardless of the same curriculum, regardless of which format you approach the program, whether you're a full-time MBA student, an evening MBA student, which you can do full-time or part-time. Our executive programs follow the same curriculum as well. The way our curriculum is set up, there are 4 different categories of courses. We start out with what we call foundational or fundamental skills courses. Those are 8 required courses. They're 4 3-credit courses, 4 1.5 credit courses. They include things like strategy and competitive advantage, strategic business communication, statistics, and leading people in organizations. Those are the 4 3-credit courses. We have 4 1.5 credit courses. They're economics, global environment, business and society, and law and ethics. And those are half semester courses that are paired together. So students take those 1.5 credit courses, hopefully together in pairs, and they do one the first 7 weeks and then another course in the second 7 weeks of the semester. Students sometimes split them up depending on what their desires are for how much they want to handle in any particular semester. The next set of courses are the functional skills courses. These include things like marketing, information systems, finance, accounting, creativity and innovation, business analytics, and students pick 3 out of these 7 courses. Depending on what they've been doing and what they want to do, they get advice on which courses to take. If they've never had finance or accounting, then we definitely recommend they take those as at least 2 of their functional skills courses, because we think every MBA should have those skills by the time they leave the program. But if they've been working in finance or accounting for 5 years or more before they've started the program, then they probably don't need to take an intro course in one of those, so they can explore some of the other areas that they haven't studied before. Right. Students get advice from academic advisors, from career coaches, and faculty advisors to help them pick the right set of courses that are going to help them get wherever they're trying to go with their MBA, whether they're trying to advance to higher level positions within their same organization, whether they want to change careers and switch industries and organizations altogether. Those different patterns would suggest different choices that they make from their courses. And so we help them figure out what the right things to do are, but also give them the flexibility to make those different choices. The next set of courses are electives. We have students choose 6 elective courses, sometimes more, the 18 credits of electives, right? So if they take 1.5 credit electives, which we have some of, then they would take more actual courses. They can take all of their electives in one department. They can take 1 in each department. We don't have pre-designed concentrations. That's another interesting feature of our program, is that we have tremendous amount of flexibility where students design their own concentrations, depending on what they're trying to do. If they want to do a deep dive into finance, they can take 18 credits of electives in the finance department. If they want to pursue a career in fintech, they can take half of their electives in finance and half of their electives in CIS or analytics. If they want to sample and do 1 in each area, they can do that. And then they can tell the story to potential employers based on the skills that they've acquired through their program. And again, they get lots of advice. They can talk to academic advisors. They can talk to career coaches who help them figure out what are the skills needed for whatever positions they're trying to pursue. And they can talk to faculty advisors in each of our 7 academic departments to get insights into what's covered in each of those courses. And then the program culminates with a capstone. which is a business consulting practicum, where teams of students work on projects for real organizations in real time, addressing a range of different kinds of challenges and opportunities that these organizations are facing. We have clients that are startups, we have clients that are Fortune 500 companies. The kinds of projects each of them has to do vary from one semester to the next. The students get to pick which project, or to select a few that they seem really excited about, and then they get matched to those projects. Most students get their first or second choice. They work with a team of others who are also interested in similar areas. They have a faculty advisor that works with each team as a liaison between the team and the client. They start out with about a month or so during the first part of a semester in the classroom, learning about project management skills, writing letters of proposal, figuring out how to manage the relationship with the client. Then they do work with their teams, meeting with the client, and whatever work they have to do to create the deliverable. They give the formal presentation and a report to the client and the faculty. And it's a really great experience to help make that transition from the classroom and theory into the real world.
Absolutely. That flexibility sounds so important to what MBA students are looking for these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what would you say is the key differentiator for your program?
I think that word is that we've heard a few times already is the key differentiator, is the flexibility, that the program can be really specialized, that that's what you want and need, or it can be very diverse depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So we can meet the students' needs, whether they're, like I said, whether they're career changers or whether they're career advancers. We can help them construct a program that is right for what their needs are at this point in their career.
Absolutely. Very important. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the emphasis on group work versus individual work? How connected are the students in your program?
I'd say it's probably about a 50-50 split throughout each course. I think that just about every course has some component of individual work. You need to master the material, and that's kind of a solitary endeavor, but you also need to be able to use it and act on it and integrate it with other people. And so a fair amount of the work is team-based as well.
Absolutely. So we did talk a little bit already about developing your own program and choosing your own path forward. Tell us a little bit more about some of the different concentrations and when students choose those, how they're selected, what kind of guidance and support they get in that.
Sure. So there's no formal designation of a concentration. So you can change up to the last minute. You might take a class and say, gee, I never realized that I was interested in this before, and then decide to pursue more of it. You might take a class and say, no, I thought this was interesting, but it's not really for me, and I don't want any more in this area. So students never have to formally declare a concentration. Again, they work with the collection of advisors to help define who they are and what skills they bring to any potential employers. We offer 10 specialized master's degrees in addition to our MBA, and that provides a lot of opportunity and a lot of choices in elective courses that our MBA students are able to pick from to build their electives.
Absolutely. Well, explain to us, if you will, kind of the balance between teaching the soft skills that the students needs, also with the technical side of the skills the MBA provides.
Absolutely. So soft skills are really, really important when they get out of here. It's not just what they can learn from reading a textbook. It's also, can they communicate that? Can they work with other people to arrive at better solutions? It starts out in orientation, where students have some seminars about team building and professionalism and working with each other. In every course, just about, there's some component of teamwork and individual work. There's a communication separate course in strategic business communication that students take at the very beginning, and then it's reinforced throughout the curriculum. So even technical courses include presentations and written reports and opportunities to build those skills and team building skills as well. We also have something new that our Center for Teaching and Learning has offered in conjunction with some faculty who do research on team-based work, a new teaming seminar that helps teach students how to be part of a team, how to write a contract and manage expectations, and what to do when that doesn't work, when someone's not pulling their weight. So we're recognizing how important that is, and not just assuming that students know how to do that, but giving them the skills to manage that and improve upon that. There's also lots of opportunities for students to build leadership skills through clubs and to take on leadership roles and interact with professionals and guide other students in engaging in those ideas. So we have quite a number of opportunities both in the classroom and outside of the classroom to build those soft skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you found any, how are students doing through the coronavirus, getting together to be able to help each other with those soft skills?
I think, there are some major breakthroughs and also challenges.
Right.
So we're returning to 70% in-person environment. So students are coming to campus, are having the opportunity to engage, face-to-face in person with their colleagues. But we've also embraced virtual meetings as well, both for classes, for clubs. We have our Zicklin ambassadors, which is a group of MBA students that volunteer to be the touch point with prospective students and existing students. They run virtual cafes. They rotate responsibility for running those, and they change the topic each time. So there's an opportunity for people to, talk about something that's really important to them and how they're managing through the whole process.
Well, certainly that's something everybody's going to have to know how to do these days,
That's true.
even probably after the pandemic now. So
certainly lots of changes to how we all work and interact with one another. That goes well beyond just what happens in school.
Absolutely. So we'll just switch a little bit now to more of the global business landscape, which is becoming, more and more pronounced. Talk about how, your students get that cross-cultural communication training, and how to develop leaders that can work with a diverse group of people that they may not have had a lot of contact with before.
Sure. Well, there are a number of ways that happens. One relatively straightforward way is that every course has a global component. When we review new courses at the curriculum committee level, that's one of the things we look for in each course. How does the course build global competencies? So they're getting that in the classroom, they're getting that in academic work. Our population of students is quite diverse. Baruch ranks #1 in diversity for quite a number of years, and so they have no choice but to interact with quite a diverse set of peers, and to figure out how to deal with differences that arise as a consequence of that. And we have some other activities on campus, things like our Tools for Clear Speech, which helps students who might have difficulty communicating improve. We also have something called conversation partners, which pairs native speakers and non-native speakers to help encourage not just the practice for the non-native speaker, but the practice for the native speaker to embrace and interact with someone who comes from a different background. We also have study abroad programs. We have something new we're doing in our consulting practicum, is that we are this spring, we have a joint project actually with students from a university in Italy that they're going to be working for. I think it's actually a German company, and the team is going to be comprised of students from Zicklin, students from our Italian partner, working for this client. So we're looking constantly for other opportunities to engage in that way.
Wow, that sounds exciting. That's a great opportunity for kids. I shouldn't call them kids. So over the next 3 to 5 years, talk about how you see this program evolving, and this crazy change that we're going through. How do you think that's going to shape what you guys do?
Sure. So, we are actually in an active phase of evaluating our program, trying to identify where we need to make changes. One of the things that is maybe started a little bit before, but also as a byproduct of the past couple of years is increasing flexibility in modality. So our traditional in-person program, that's how we're registered and accredited to be an in-person program, but we're recognizing the need to offer more flexibility in terms of how students engage with class. When they came to work in Manhattan, as you can see in my background, we're right in the middle of Manhattan and near the financial district, near the lots of other industries that are concentrated here. And it was really convenient for students to hop over to the Baruch building after work and attend their classes. But now a lot of them aren't coming in to work. They're not coming into the office. And so now they're looking for other ways to engage with classes. I think we're looking at how to increase the flexibility from that perspective, how to increase the portion of our courses that include analytics and tech and STEM fields, to make sure that they have a well-rounded education that's going to address the needs in the marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what is something that we haven't talked about yet that you want prospective students to know about Zicklin?
I think they really should be able to appreciate the value that they're getting. You've got top-notch scholars, you've got professionals, because of where we're located, a lot of professionals from many different fields of business are in the neighborhood and come to our classrooms. And as an important part of the education that MBA students get is from the instructor who might be leading the class and the materials that they've developed and curated, if you will. But it's also, what you learn from the people sitting in classroom next to you or on the Zoom box next to you.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that recognizing the diverse population of students we have from various cultural backgrounds, professional backgrounds, academic backgrounds, that there's really, it's a really exciting opportunity to learn from all those people as well. You never know, the person on your team could be the next person you hire or the source of your next job.
Absolutely. Well, we have just a few minutes left. If you want to kind of tell us a little bit about the profile of the MBA student that leaves your program, what kind of opportunities there are for them out there?
Sure. We don't have one particular industry that we send all of our graduates to. We're not the consulting school or the marketing school. Yeah. We're really ready to meet students where they are and to help students who have lots of different interests and prepare them for lots of different fields. So again, the flexibility does that. And the flexibility in our curriculum allows them to pursue whatever industries they're interested in. We've got lots of alumni that are local as well as global. So we've got networks all over the world in every different industry. And so students can find a place wherever they might be looking to go.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you taking some time to tell us about Zicklin Business School and about your program. And I thank everybody for joining us and learning more about the program. And we will see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. It's been my pleasure.